Welcome to Tech Talks, the ultimate podcast for law firm owners looking to revolutionize their practices through technology and strategic business management. Brought to you by 4Eyes Systems, your trusted partner in creating custom software solutions and reports to ensure that everything works together seamlessly to drive your firm's success. Each week, your hosts, Rusty and Sam, will dive into the world of law firm operations, exploring how you can leverage technology to streamline your intake and phone systems, improve your case management workflow, and maximize the potential of custom software solutions and insightful reporting. From working with hundreds of law firms across the country, we understand the unique challenges faced by law firms today. That's why we're committed to providing you with actionable advice and expert insight to help you stay ahead of this rapidly evolving legal landscape. Our mission is to be your trusted voice, guiding you through the intricate maze of legal technology and management strategies to help drive predictable growth and ultimately increase your firm's profits. Whether you're a seasoned attorney or just starting your own practice, we've got you covered. Join us as we uncover strategies for staff management and delve into the essential metrics, key performance indicators, and predictive leading indicators that will drive your firm's success. So if you're ready to transform your law practice into a more profitable, thriving business, tune into 4Eyes Tech Talks every week. Let's unlock your firm's true potential together.
Hello and welcome to this very first episode of the 4Eyes Tech Talks podcast. My name is Richard Matthews. I'm going to be doing the hosting for this first introductory episode. And today I've got live on the line Sam and Rusty from 4Eyes. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
We're
Glad
here.
to be here, Richard. Thanks for helping us out with this.
Yeah, awesome. Glad to have you guys here. What I want to start off with is just a couple of questions to go through what it is you guys do and who you help and what this podcast is going to be for. So to start this off, why don't you guys start off with who you are and who your clients are?
Yeah, I guess I'll start. So my name is Rusty Speedy. I am the technical co-founder of 4Eyes. So we're a software company. I was the guy who wrote the software. And my other co-founder was more of the vision guy, still is, and sales guy, and that's Bert Diener. Been working with him for 20 years. But we started this company about 7 years ago. And since then, I've taken over the CEO role and kind of run the day-to-day and all that good stuff. So I'm basically a software engineer turned entrepreneur at this point. So I have to worry about the same things as other business owners now, as opposed to just sitting in my closet typing code all day. So yeah,
Those are
and
good roles to have.
I can get more into what kind of our origin story is, but Sam, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Who are your clients, Sam? What do you guys do at 4Eyes?
So I'm Sam, and as Rusty said, at 4Eyes, we are a software company. So we are focusing on small to mid-sized law firms and helping them with their software and systems to either make their business easier or help them make more money, or hopefully both.
So what's the primary problem that you guys help lawyers solve with your software?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, and it's a fun way of putting it when we first start the conversation is we try to help them realize the dream. And if for the business owners, that's stuff like, hey, I want to just check in for 15 minutes a day and know that everything's running smoothly, know that I'm not going to lose everything I own or everything I've built. And actually that things are going to continue to grow and you'll have that sustained exponential growth. So what we call those people are entrepreneurial attorneys, people who want to build a business. Yes, they are attorneys. Yes, they practice law. Yes, most of them are very good at it, but they are trying to turn that into a business. And what we do is we put systems and reports and processes and software in place so they can do that check-in for 15 minutes and know they're making money still and know that nobody's quit and all that good stuff at a glance. Also consists of basically optimizing certain systems. So it's a constantly evolving kind of thing when we partner with people where we very deeply entrenched in their business and we walk together with, hey, this is what you guys are doing. Here's what 100 other attorneys are doing. Let's figure out which makes the most sense for you. And then let's make sure that we can make it run smoothly and get you what you want out of your business.
So you're definitely focused on helping attorneys go from just being an attorney to being an attorney who's running a business that sells law services.
Yeah,
that's really
exactly. And yeah, I'll give a couple examples just really quickly because why not? So for instance, Diener Law, when we first started working with this particular model, and Diener Law is the law firm, my business partner came from, he liked to say, we generated an extra $1 million in revenue over 18 months by making this one small change. And it was a small change for the business. It was a tough change for us. But yeah, so that was one. We've had a couple clients. Spoke with one 2 days ago, or maybe it was early last week, and they had gone from 500,000 a year in their gross revenues to like over 4 years to something like 5 million, right? Which I think is one of our better ones over 4 years. We had somebody who did 900,000 to 3 million over 2 or 3 years or something like that. So anyway, yeah, that's how we measure our own success, is stuff like that, right? Hey, you hired us. We want to make sure you have an ROI on that hire, on that expense. And so that's how we track it. So when I say that's how we help people, that's one way of how we help for sure.
So one more question on this is, what does your process look like for attorneys when you bring someone into your world who sort of make that shift from being someone who practices law to someone who's running a business that offers law services? What does that process look like for you guys?
Yeah, Sam, you want to try that one?
Yes, sure. So normally I would meet with somebody first and just see where they're at, what systems are they currently using, what softwares, what does their process look like? And that can be a big tell into, do you have a bottleneck in staffing, or is there software conflicts? A lot of times people are using too many different softwares that all do a lot of the same things but compete with one another. So we definitely analyze where people are at and then where they'd like to go. So some people just say, hey, I just want to make this easier or simpler on my staff or my team. Other people, it's, hey, I would like to get this many more hires per month or this many clients. So just seeing where they're at and then where they want to go, and then figuring out from there what is needed to get them there.
Yeah, so it sounds like you guys are approaching a business growth aspect from more holistic area. Where like a lot of times, look, businesses in particular are focused on how do I get more leads, right? And that's like the only thing they focus on. And you guys are focusing on a more of a holistic business approach, where you're like, let's look at all the systems and processes that make your business run. Oh, do I need more leads, or do I need more people answering the calls at different times of day so that we can take more advantage of the leads we're already getting? Things like that.
Yeah, it's end to end. And we actually have our way of saying it, which is we look at it in terms of getting leads, converting those leads into clients, getting the work done, and getting paid. Usually that's the discrete areas that we look at. And when Sam talks to these people, we try to figure out which one to focus on. And usually it's the very first one is converting leads to clients, which is sales, which is a dirty word in law firms. But also some people, you can't sell if you've only got 10 people calling you every month. So some people it's like, hey, maybe we have this discussion about the marketing stuff, and then we have a discussion about software and all that stuff. And that's what that first call is. Like, where are you on this journey? And we're always going to help give advice and say, hey, we know these people, maybe they can help you. But it doesn't, what is the best thing for you to focus on right now? Sometimes it's sales, sometimes it's getting the people to call you, right? And so that's
Wow.
where we start.
I'm going to get into the important stuff then. And that is, what is the Four Eyes Tech Talk podcast? And how do you expect that this podcast is going to help your community, grow and be, I guess, be better?
Right. Sam, you want to do this one?
Yeah, I think it's just one, we love software and we work in it every day, but we also both work in a law firm every day. And I think learning those lessons between what we see from other law firms across the country, what mistakes that they've made and how they've overcome those mistakes, and just all of these lessons and tips that we can share with other law firm owners. Hey, you're not alone in this. Somebody else has probably experienced it. And here's the solution that we found to help, or here's what not to do, because someone might have done that as well.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Here's things we did that were just terrible. Maybe you shouldn't do that yourself.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So how do you expect that this podcast, with the topics and the series and stuff you guys have planned out, how do you expect this is going to help your listeners solve their problems?
Yeah, there's going to be, I think we're going to get to a couple different things. Like Sam said, software is a big part of what we do. So we're probably going to put out, and I say probably, I know what we're going to do. We're going to put out specific problems that attorneys, or questions that attorneys have specifically about these types of facets, or the facets of their business. And that includes things like customer relationship management software, which I'm saying a bunch of words that don't matter, practice management software. People talk about, name some, Clio, Practice Panther, let's say Keep, Infusionsoft, Zoho, Salesforce, stuff like that. So we'll talk about the ins and outs of what those things are and why you need them. So those are kind of where we're going to start. But then we're also going to go into, hey, once you have that, what is the point in having this, right? Well, we say why you need it. And the point of having that stuff is to make it easier to make decisions about your business. So as we go into this, we'll probably get a little nerdy, which we can't help it, but we're going to say things like, okay, this is what we're going to put in there, and this is why it's important. It's important to see how many phone calls are coming into your office every day and where they're coming from. Is it like Google Ads, your Google site? Does somebody Google you? Is it like a Facebook ad they saw? Why is that important to know? Why is it important to know how many? I mean, you guys know this one. Whether your agents answered the phone or didn't, right? That's super important to know if you're missing every call on a certain day, right? And that you can call them back. So there's a bunch of little things like that that just help seal everything up and shore everything up. And there are a lot of little tips and tricks we know and a lot of different technology we can implement to help make that easier and hopefully not add a lot of extra work to the owner. Like we are trying to make things simpler, easier, more efficient, but also want to focus on the things that are going to move the needle, if that makes sense, right? You can tell
Business
me
more
you want
profitable.
you guys deal with this. You want your website to be green. Sure, we can do that as opposed to purple, but is it going to really make you much more money? Probably not. But yeah, if that's something you really care about, maybe that's something we talk about. But we would be the guys that say, hey, I don't think that's the bottleneck in your business right now. I think it's because you're getting 2 leads a month, right? I don't think that's your website's fault. Maybe it is, but we would try to give our advice as best
Depending
we
on who
could.
did it, they ever had they've got the barking dog, the star shooting around. That might be the reason.
This is true, actually.
So, last couple of
Not saying
questions
it's
here
not
for
the
you on this introduction episode is how often can you guys expect listeners, or can your listeners expect for you guys to be releasing new content? And then where can they go to find that content or as you guys are releasing it?
Cool. So we're going to quickly ask you. Weekly is what we're looking at. We're going to have a monthly recording session that we're going to try to release something weekly. Okay. Sam, you want to do this one then?
Sure. Yeah, so you can find new episodes weekly from us, and they'll be at foureyes.com/podcast.
And that is
Awesome.
4IZ, just in case when you guys came across this, the spelling wasn't very apparent. 4IZ.com/podcast.
Yeah. I did giggle the first time you guys told me your name. Like I was like 4 Eyes, then I didn't quite get the logo, and then it clicked. And I was like, "Oh, that's funny. I like it."
Classic.
It's yeah. There we go. And so it'll be everyone can find your new episodes at 4iez.com/podcasts, and then anywhere that your podcasts are found. So it'll be YouTube on their new podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Music, Apple, Amazon Music, any place that you can find your podcasts, their stuff will be there. So it'll be all over the place. And again, thank you guys for so much for coming on and just this quick introduction episode and letting us know what your podcast is going to be about and for putting this community resource together for the attorneys and, all over the country and all over the world and help them grow. So we appreciate that and look forward to, the good stuff, which is going to come in episode 1, the next step we're doing. So again, we'll see you guys on that shortly.
Awesome. Thank
Awesome.
you, Richard.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the 4 Eyes Tech Talks. I hope you learned some actionable strategies to attract more clients and grow your law firm. Remember, consistent small wins over time lead to massive growth. Try implementing just one tactic from this episode and see how it goes. We'll be back next week with more strategies to take your law firm to the next level.